Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 129 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. So it's the beginning of a new month as I publish this, and I've been listening to you guys about what you love and what you love to hear, and I've decided on a new format for the weekly episodes. Starting this week, I'll still have 2 episodes, but both will be short and empowering. I'll still do interviews, but it'll be only one really impactful, powerful interview per month. So the last week of every month, we'll have 3 episodes, with one being an interview. Always dealing with something that makes us better. Adaptation in life is crucial to a wildly successful lifestyle. So I'm adapting to your feedback, which I love, by the way. So keep it up by emailing me at heidi@heididawson.com to let me know what topics you'd love to hear. Now, all this talk about worthiness the last few episodes really got me thinking. When you feel worthy, you start noticing that maybe you've been tolerating some things in your life that you're no longer willing to tolerate, specifically in relationships. And relationships can be the icing on the cake. They can be the cherry in the sangria. Hopefully, they're making your life better because they should. Now, my husband and I have a favorite local restaurant that we go to pretty much once a week. And when we go, I usually order a red sangria. Now, I know that sangria is going to taste wonderful. It doesn't always taste exactly the same, but it usually tastes really, really good. Now, sometimes it's better than other times, and there's only been 1 or 2 times over the years that I've had to send it back to have them remake it. And when it comes back, there it is, delicious, just like I expected it. Now, usually they'll put 1 sweet cherry in it, and sometimes if I'm lucky, they'll put 2. Now, my point is that most of the time, the sangria is fabulous. Sometimes it's extra special. It doesn't always taste the same, and every once in a while, I have to have a little wake-up call to the bartender that it wasn't right, and of course, they fixed it. So how many of you can think of a relationship in your life that's kind of like my sangria from Ciao. Most of the time it's really good. Even though it isn't always exactly the same, sometimes it's extra special, and sometimes you have to have a little chat to rectify to make it how it should be. That's how a real authentic relationship should feel. Now that you value your self-worth, you're going to find that you want authenticity from your relationships. And that starts with yourself. I mean, you're just going to keep getting better and better as you grow. And that's a really good thing. But it could cause you to cringe when you think of your past. Hopefully, you look back on your life and realize that some of the relationships that weren't great built you into who you are today. But also some of the things you did in the past or tolerated in the past may have been because you were in survival mode. Some of those things make you feel a little embarrassed, but you're human and you're evolving. And those things added to who you are today. Don't look at it and beat yourself up. You should pat yourself on the back for who you are today, that you've come this far and grown to the point where you'd never do that again. You are not your past. Tony Robbins says, your past does not equal your future unless you let it. Now, you can't change the past, but you can control who you are today. And who you are today is worthy. You are worthy of great, fulfilling, authentic relationships. So think about the relationships you currently have in your life. I mean, how are they going? And I'm talking about your personal relationships with your friends and your family. Have you been tolerating some things that deep down you know you shouldn't be? Maybe you want to make the relationships you have even better because you're starting to realize how important authentic connections are and that you're worthy of those relationships that support and inspire and uplift you. I've had a friend that I've had for 20 years, and I actually view her like family. She's been there more for me than some of my blood family, and I hope that I do the same thing for her. Now, sometimes she'll call, and I'll be in the middle of something and forget to call back. In my head, we're so close that I think she knows I love her and would never purposely ignore her, and if I was irritated, I would certainly tell her. In other words, I think she can read my mind. But guess what? She cannot read my mind, nor can I read hers. It actually hurts her feelings when I don't call her back for a few days. So I did send her a quick text later to say, hey, sorry I didn't call you back. Love you. And when I did talk to her in the next few days, she, in a roundabout way, said, hey, it hurts my feelings when people don't call back. But she also thanked me for sending her a text to let her know I'd gotten the call. I was genuinely thankful that she let me know that it hurts her feelings when I didn't call her because, come to think of it, it hurts mine too when someone doesn't call me back. And if the shoe were on the other foot, I'd feel the same. Now, had she never said anything, I wouldn't have known. And maybe it might have festered to the point where it was a problem. Good friends are hard to come by. Don't take them for granted. But also, if something's really bothering you, a true, authentic relationship allows you to talk about it so that it doesn't get worse. And this includes both friends and family members. Think of it this way, kind of. If I decide to drink this sangria that tastes not so good because I'm too embarrassed or too timid to say anything, that's on me. It isn't the restaurant's fault at that point. That's my fault. We have to speak up in our life, and if we don't, then we're choosing to live with the consequences. Now, that may sound a little harsh, but we're transforming lives here. Sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable. Good thing we're okay with discomfort, right? Because we know that's when we grow. So what do we do if we have a relationship that isn't up to par? It's really all about setting boundaries. Friends and family are going to treat you the way you let them. And let me throw in a caveat here before I go any further. I had another friend that invited me to dinner this last week at her house by text. Okay, so I responded by text saying, yes, I'd love to. What time and what can I bring? Then it was radio silence. I never heard back. Like when the day for dinner came, I was like, well, is dinner canceled? Did I get uninvited? What did I do? All those thoughts that we have, our crazy brain. Anyway, I didn't just sit around and wonder and worry. I picked up the phone and I called. And we had a really good laugh when she realized she typed up a text. She just forgot to press send. So her text was like, I'm so excited you're coming and I didn't have to bring a thing. So be careful of technology. I've done this probably, 10 times where I type a text and forget to press send. This has led to many misunderstandings, not just for me. So pick up the phone and call if you have a problem with a friend. Most of the time, there's a simple reason and it's got nothing to do with you. Now, about those scenarios where somebody isn't treating you right. Wayne Dyer says you constantly coach people how to treat you. So basically, if you allow others to treat you unfairly, you're signaling that you feel unworthy of being treated better. Oh, and here's a biggie. They're going to take cues from how you treat yourself. So maybe in the past you put yourself down, maybe you weren't taking care of yourself, and they're just not used to this new you that values self-worth. So now it's your job to set those new boundaries. Let them know what you expect from them in a loving way, of course, because if the relationship is worth having, then you both deserve it to be authentic. My challenge to you this week is now that you understand your self-worth, which you should, if you're still questioning that, go back and listen to episode 125 and 127. But if you truly know your self-worth, make sure you're surrounding yourself with quality people who love you, support you, and hopefully some that inspire you. Your role is huge in this. If there's a relationship worth having that needs to be rectified, rectify it. If there's a relationship where you need to set boundaries, set them. And never forget the most important relationship in your life is always with yourself, and that sets the tone for every other relationship you'll have. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in a few days.
Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.